time around, remember, we saw the first pick Milio for FlyQuest, the immediate response Lucian Nami for TSM. Obviously, TSM takes the win there, so I think they don't want to end up giving away that same type of a trade, but that does leave Milio open. That does mean we expect to see Team Liquid lock it in.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm curious to see what 100 Thieves are cooking here then for this bottom lane. They have so much trust and faith in DoubleLift. I'm assuming Busio then just goes with the Nami instead. But it also allows Haeri to get that Ahri, one of his favorite champs, for mid lane, and get that matchup into Nukeduck. So they flash the Nami, they lock in the LeBlanc first, but they still are able to get it as expected. There's your pairing, the classic.
Yep.
Even though Milio is the new hotness, Nami is the original.
Old reliable. Lucian Nami bot lane, LeBlanc in mid, going up against that Ahri pocket pick of Haeri's like you're talking about. When your pocket pick is also a meta pick at the A tier,
It's your time.
it feels pretty good.
It's like Zeka with Akali and Silas being running the entire tournament. Perfect timing there. No surprise, the Aphelios that we expected, pairing there with the Milio.
All right, it's junglers and top laners in the second half. And when we look at our bans in the first half, there was already plenty of jungle presence there with the Kindred and the Vi and the Maokai.
Like Wukong for closer probably. Wukong and Viego both up. Very, very strong closer champions and quite good right now. If they wanted to go the tank route for him, the Sejuani is available with Maokai ban. That's kind of the...
Ooh, that's another closer special.
Really, really indexing into player-specific ban right here because he has such an affinity for it.
And also, because LeBlanc is on the enemy team, Lee Sin, LeBlanc as a mid-jungle duo, that's the pop goes the health bar 2v2 right there. So they want to keep that off the table. Wukong banned out by 100 Thieves themselves, wanting to keep that one away from Pyosik.
Okay, the jungler duel deepens. We keep on forcing each other deeper and deeper into the champion pools. Will we find a Viego? Will we find... Oh, we get a top lane instead. Ssumday demanding respect on his pick. His most picked champion of all time of his career. It's 100 Thieves. They get the last swing instead.
All right, 100 Thieves. The last champ, Malphite. Okay, that one's banned out. This will be the first game today. We do not get to see any Malphite.
What's really funny is that Malphite was the original champion that caused the downfall of Summit. when Summit was actually having his MVP split, Malphite was what caused was the first domino that caused the downfall of Summit before he left for the first time and has returned. So let's see. Ah, yes, Kha'Zix still available.
Wait,
here.
there wasn't Malphite in game 1 today either. I'm trolling. Malphite's just permanently in my brain because he gets picked so much. That's my bad. It's whatever. Sejuani's locked in for the side of Team Liquid, so there's some front line. I expect each team to have at least one of these just like pure tank mega meatball champions, considering we've got like Aphelios and Lucian on the board. I wonder what we're going to get here from 100
I mean, if they go Viego, then they have to do like, tank on top side here for Ssumday. Ssumday has got to be on tank duty right now. So they go with the Kha'Zix instead of closers Viego. We'll see about it. Wow, Ksante is still available.
Yeah.
Ksante has slipped all the way to last pick.
And hey, Ssumday's happy to take it.
Mind. All right. Definitely, I would definitely be happy to take it as well. Provides that front line, plus always has that ability to put threat onto the back line. Are we going to actually see one of these execution-style champion counters to the top side? The Garens, the Darius, whose ultimates are made to execute Ksante when you take yourself low. No, we are not going to see it at Last Flowers. We get another matchup with the Jax, and Summit will try his hands. Fudge didn't have such a nice time when he went for his tower dive and fumbled it a bit earlier today. Cloud9 were able to brush it off though, and not that big a deal. But when you have a pairing of the Sejuani jungle, feels so nice. It really does help your top laners out a lot usually, as they're the ones with the melee champions. They're the ones you can really get those quick stuns with, and especially if they have their own stun, Counter-Strike and Sejuani, E-stun as well as the ultimate stun. You have a tremendous amount of CC. So in 2v2 scenarios, the Sejuani Jack side always goes for the Kha'Zix. Try and kill that squishy bug first. You can stun lock him down to 0 if it's actually a 2v2.
So, based off yesterday's games that we saw from these two teams, I would think most people are giving the edge to 100 Thieves in this matchup. So I want to pose the question to you early on, because that is Team Liquid's best part of the game by far. Let's go. All right, here we are. It's 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. A little late, but ready to rock and roll. Let's see who's going to keep the wins going as Nukeduck running alongside his bottom lane duo down into the brushes here in bottom lane.
So now that we didn't tell the banana Mitch Hedberg joke throughout this game, can I just drop where the F did you get that banana?
Yeah, go for
cool.
it. No worries.
We'll hit it like 5 or 6 times.
Come on, man. Everybody gets one.
All right. As far as sweepers go, we have 0 sweepers. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be too many crazy shenanigans going. Nobody eyeballing each other's raptors. Sejuani has a pretty easy time taking her own, no problem. The rest of the TL members going to get that coveted raptor ward that we talked about in the previous game. My favorite, please, solo queue mid laners, do this for your jungler. It is so incredibly helpful, and it helps you too.
Yeah,
so
helping your jungler helps you.
Your opponent's jungler, when they're pathing red quadrant towards raptors, and you don't get ganked. All right, it's a good one. It is going to see, even seeing that Kha'Zix does not go over there for the early start, you can then assume blue quadrant start for the Kha'Zix, and you know it's going to be top side start for both junglers heading towards that bottom side. Team 100 Thieves, remember they invested a lot into this Lucian Nami. First pick Lucian for DoubleLift after the big Lucian performance yesterday. So there's a lot of eyeballs down here at this bottom lane.
All right, Busio and DoubleLift, the Lucian Nami. One of those things that when you pick it, I always want to see that lane control, that dominance, that aggressive gameplay. If I don't get it, I'm just like, why are we picking these champions? So hopefully DoubleLift, we can relive the glory days of the old, my pocket pick is Lucian, and really see this pop off again. Back in the mid lane, speaking of pocket picks, Haeri on the Ahri, you talked about it back in the original champ select. He had a great game on it yesterday, and I expect him to continue to perform on it again here today. He's loved the champion for a long time, and with it being in its current state in the meta, there's no reason not to go for it. They picked it nice and early. A little bit of trading going back and forth here in every lane, as our tri-lane camera is showing us mostly combat in top right now. Ssumday and Summit going into that one, but back in mid, just trading blows. Ssumday hits level 3. Summit's going to be on the losing end of a trade because of it.
Really nice combo there from Ssumday, actually. Able to avoid a lot of the damage, gets the pullback, but we have to slip over the back. Q early on, super long cooldown here for Sejuani. So biding his time, Pyosik for the right moment.
Looking for it. W2 not going to find the target there. DoubleLift flashing out of the way. Busio was already out of maximum range. Team Liquid backs off, seeing closers show up. They already spent some of their cooldowns trying to engage there. So now the cozy campfire gets to heal everybody up. Remember, that's a heal over time that moves along with the closest champion. So just tops everybody back off, and Team Liquid's feeling fine.
All right, so even though DoubleLift and Busio were able to 2v2 force out the heal, CoreJJ used it early. It's a pretty short cooldown summoner spell, and using it early, you're going to get the value there. The health will remain. Meanwhile, the flash being forced out by Pyosik's kind of pathing over towards Tribrush. That one's going to be a bit of a stickler. DoubleLift, much more vulnerable, and so is Closer as Pyosik gets a beautiful aftershock trade.
Yeah, Pyosik recognizing that he has some really snappy bursts there against that Kha'Zix and taking a huge chunk of HP out of him. Gonna feel good about that one as DoubleLift and Busio are again shoved back underneath the turret here. Yeon and CoreJJ with control over the bottom lane.
A lot of good stuff here out of the world champion jungler Pyosik here from Team Liquid, even not on his signature pick. Yeah, he was down to camp because he got down here super early, but do you think it was worth blowing DoubleLift's flash with how aggressive this 100 Thieves bottom lane has been, taking away that possibility here for DoubleLift and opening up a lot more easy room here for the Aphelios Milio to keep on farming, get control of the lane back for them, get the wards down as well to cover for Kha'Zix. So very good stuff here. Coverage from Pyosik.
DoubleLift at 200 HP as Yeon keeps trying to poke underneath this turret. The level up there going to heal him a little bit. As Yeon, you do have to be a little bit careful there with the Infernum. You can accidentally take some turret aggro if they stand behind the turret when you auto-attack it. So just wants to make sure that he does not lose any HP for free, as the teleport brings Nukeduck back to the mid lane, and Haeri's will do the exact same. Difference in purchases here. Haeri going for the double laning power items of the Doran's Ring and the Dark Seal, while it's a full Mercury Treads purchase for Nukeduck on the LeBlanc. DoubleLift running very low on mana here in the bottom lane. Yeon and CoreJJ just doing everything they can to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, and I do like early Merc Tread rush here. There's so much CC on the side of Team Liquid. And Ahri with ultimate and Sejuani with ultimate is very, very difficult to get away from. A lot of value out of the tenacity from that. And meanwhile, 2v2, that 2v2 we were hyping up in Champ Select. It's very dangerous for the Kha'Zix to play.
Ssumday, 300 HP, 100 HP, already dead. Summit just smacks him right upside the skull. They wanted to try to find an angle there for Ssumday to go all out because he had level 6. Nobody else was there. But man, Team Liquid just made it way too easy. Ksante was way too low.
That's exactly what we highlight in Champ Select. The power of that CC chain from Sejuani and Jax. Nicely done from Summit and Pyosik. The Kha'Zix doesn't provide a lot of value in the standoff 2v2, so they know they can just jump on forward. They go straight for Ksante. Guess what? Someday, even though you're already low, there's no spot for you, good spot for you to ultimate, and you get stunned out, locked down. Huge stuff here for Team Liquid. Another early game Flowers, where already they're taking advantage of an early lead. Pyosik controls the bottom lane for his duo down there, gets that into a safe situation, burns the flash off DoubleLift, then goes to the top side. They win the first blood race, and getting Jack's first blood money is very, very impactful to try and fund his Divine Sunderer rush.
Well, let's see if Team Liquid can get this Drake without any contest. It looks like they will. You can see no rotations coming out from 100 Thieves. DoubleLift and Busio just shoving the wave up bottom side. Pyosik confirms the Drake for the side of Team Liquid.
Okay, big stuff here from the Team Liquid jungler thus far. He's not even behind in camps at all either to the Kha'Zix. And when you're able to rush the Bomby Cinder, it's really nice. That helps so much with your clear speed for all these tank junglers. Would love to try and get some cooldown reduction in there pretty early on, but man, that burn does really speed up the clear a lot. And Pyosik should be able to full clear the rest of his jungle again. Alpha Dragon, just go blue quadrant up towards red quadrant, pick up his red. He's got level 6 acquired now on the Sejuani, so he can look for those really, really potent Sejuani stun combinations yet again.
And Nukeduck's doing just fine here in this mid lane as well. The sub mid laner, you can see him constantly going aggressive there on the LeBlanc, jumping back and forth between distortions, trying to trade as frequently as he can with Haeri's Ahri, doing a good job sidestepping the return of that Q as well. Now it's 100 Thieves starting up the Herald here very swiftly after it spawned. Pyosik is aware of this. He has the control ward there in the pit. Closer needing to be mindful here of what Team Liquid might be able to do.
Mid lane diff though. Haeri's going back to base. Yeah, rough stuff there for Pyosik, because even though versus the Kha'Zix, if it's isolated there, and Kha'Zix is already pretty low on Rift Herald, Pyosik can definitely handle it and chase him off, but...
Okay, nice, the root, Nukeduck with a flash away.
Necessary.
That just... They got the flash, I can applaud that, but I don't think you were ever going to be able to get more than that against a LeBlanc, just running out of the brushes with Milio and Aphelios. So
yeah, we'll see if there's any repeat there, because that's a pretty decent 5-minute window that you can try and make something happen. The DoubleLift flash that was blown was they were unable to repeat or make a big punish on the bottom lane. It did make them play a lot more safe, and maybe didn't go for as many trades. Maybe gave up a few CS or something for the 100 Thieves side, but no repeat as far as gank or anything goes there, so mostly a relief one there. Meanwhile, the LeBlanc, though, it's kind of annoying because that passive is super annoying to deal with when you're going to try and gank her, but tracking the cooldown on that, it's pretty short, so that the passive will be back up, the flash will not, and really need to make use of that burst. So that's why we really do actually like those Merc Tread Rush for Nukeduck here, so even without his flash available, should be able to weather the storm.
Well, we've got the first completed item of the game with the Umbral Glaive for closer. Nice cheap item there, a little lethality spike, and the extra vision control can go a long way too. So maybe this is the avenue for 100 Thieves to try to find their first kill of the game. Just now hitting 10 minutes on the clock. Not even 300 gold separating the teams. DoubleLift and Busio both level 6, but still not on that first item spike that Lucian Nami is really at their deadliest with. Yeon and CoreJJ just hanging back for now. Don't want to expose themselves to anything. They're waiting on their own jungler and mid laner to make a rotation down here. Pyosik is going to sweep out the brush, find the ward sitting there, but he can't clear it in time. And Haeri also found the control ward in the pixel brush, so Team Liquid's attempted play doesn't turn into a whole lot. Nice sidestep there from Yeon versus the bubble of Busio means he will not be set up for a potential play from closer, as Nukeduck wanted to jump on Haeri there. If that charm connects, I think you follow it up with Pyosik, but the problem was there is no Glacial Prison just yet. Still a few seconds away from it, so unlikely to be a 100-0 either way.
Yeah, and good dodge from the Duck, the coach in the mid lane again, holding quite well. Doesn't look like there's a liability here at all for 400 Thieves. Closer, meanwhile, he already cleared it out.
Yeon with the flash. Gets himself away from the bubble yet again. Culling from DoubleLift takes Yeon down to half HP. Team Liquid's AD carry, popping the summoner spell in time to stay alive.
And good use of the ultimate here from Kha'Zix to try and get that AD carry flash out. That thing won't be available for Dragon number 2. Repeat attempt on Nukeduck.
I mean, Nukeduck knows. He's like, okay, why is the Ahri just standing here, slowly moving forward towards me back and forth? Something's got to be up. He does not want to commit to that. Meanwhile, back in bottom lane, it's the Nami wave coming out, but Pyosik's ready to reinforce. DoubleLift's got to be careful as Yeon's also down to about 400 HP. 100 Thieves thought they had the angle there, but once Pyosik shows up, they got to be respectful. Busio's nearly killed, but instead it's closer swooping in to pick up Yeon. Now Pyosik's locked up in the bubble, and 100 Thieves have outfought him. Pyosik still tries to escape as teleports show up for both sides. Team Liquid's going to have their man arrive first, and Nukeduck and Haeri both show up only to disengage with their teams.
Wow. DoubleLift is in such a good form, Flowers. This summer is looking so good for 100 Thieves. The damage he got into Yeon during that play, holding his flash, knowing that he has the advantage there, even when they see the Sejuani. Take a look at this. So they started out with Nami Wave and Bubble, but even when they see Sejuani, he gets the big chunk here, he kites back with the heal from Busio, uses that speed, drops the aggro through the brush. Then as Busio gets stunned up, he tries to put in counter damage onto Yeon and flashes away from Pyosik. Flashes the Sejuani flash. He has that all in his mind. He's putting the counter damage into the AD carry so that closer can jump in to get the kill. He also knows that Sejuani wants that juicy Q flash onto him. He gets out of the way. He's actually just playing on point here. And so closer does get the kill and gets the extra lethality for the Kha'Zix here. And then they're able to rotate support and AD carry over towards mid lane. 100 Thieves taking that lead back from Team Liquid.
Might be cloudy out, man, but Summer DoubleLift does not care. The mechanics are there. He's thinking about what he needs to be doing. He's executing well, exactly what 100 Thieves needs. Ssumday going to pick up a plate here in the top side. Has his Iceborne Gauntlet fully completed. Divine Sunderer also finished for Summit on the other side. So mythic items for both of our top laners here in that 1v1. You can see the Everfrost coming online here for Haeri's Ahri. Very, very good item with this champion to make those charms much easier to hit. Set yourself up for increased pick potential, even if it doesn't have the same damage of something like a Liandry's. But it's 100 Thieves going after the second Drake of the game. It would be their first. Nukeduck seeing what he might be able to find. Just a quick little burst onto Haeri, but nobody from TL is around to contest this, so we're even on the Drakes. While the Dragon is slain, the Cloud Winds are going to be the Rift this time around. Unfortunate that we're not going to get one of the more action-packed Drakes, but hey, it's 1-1 on the count anyway, so it's not like anybody was pursuing a fast stack. Pyosik is looking potentially to make something happen up here, but he's walked over a ward, just going to go into the enemy jungle, see what's up, steal away this blue buff, maybe. But 100 Thieves is bringing in the backup to try to stop him. DoubleLift, backing away, pops the cleanse as soon as he's hit with a Glacial Prison. Does not want to be there for the rest of Team Liquid's follow-up.
Okay, so 100 Thieves now, no sums on their AD carry for the Rift Herald fight. That causes Team Liquid to start it back up. They immediately jump on this one, knowing that Lucian is vulnerable. And Looks like 100 Thieves still calling him over a little bit. They're thinking about it, debating the call.
Cozy Campfire keeping Summit and Pyosik nice and healthy. Okay, Team Liquid, they're just going to force the objective there, take that Herald, get away. Nukeduck, however, in the bottom lane, looking for the fight against Haeri. Doesn't take it any further here. Maybe not. Second Distortion roots him up. Is it the weak of the duck? Nope, not quite. Does at least get the ulti out of the Ahri. Much longer cooldown for Haeri than it is for Nukeduck.
Yeah, definitely so. Nice little moves there. Takes away a lot of the bite, a lot of that playmaking from the Ahri by getting that ultimate down. And even though Team Liquid were able to get that Rift Herald, getting pretty close here. I do like the call from Team Liquid. As soon as they get that cleanse out, Sejuani ult traded for the cleanse. They go for it. They're able to burn it down. And Ssumday, again, pretty low health here on the Ksante. He's got his ult and flash available, though, so he should be okay. He's giving a lot of respect to the dive.
Ksante is one of the best champions to try to outplay a dive with, but when you don't have much HP, when it's Jax and Sejuani together, it's just too much. So Ssumday has to back away, and with first turret credit going over to Team Liquid, the game is back to a dead even state 16 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, I love personally this top jungle combination. Jax just with the auto attack resets can stack up Sejuani passive so quickly, so you threaten with a lot of burst damage and so much CC. And getting a Jax fed here off of first tower taken is very, very beneficial for Team Liquid's mid-stage games where they want to have this split push priority. They want to get that side lane going in their favor first. And they're going to use Rift Herald to get the outer and mid lane as well. This charge and just a tiny bit of damage will finish it up, and that's going to be 2 outer towers for TL.
Nicely done from Liquid. Again, keeping the game even in gold, but we are at that point of the game now where it's time for the bigger fights. It's time for more objective-based gameplay, and it's time for that coordination to show up. That's where the pressure is right now. 100 Thieves is the team you expect to be better at it. Team Liquid is the squad that we've been waiting to see it for so long.
All right, 1-1 on Dragons as well, so dead even right now. DoubleLift has his BF sword on top of the Kraken, as does Yeon, so pretty comparable. See if they get any explosive initiation. The cleanse is about back up. Then you're gonna have both summoners available for both of these carries. And Summit's fishing around. They want to try and burn those again. A minute 16 out from the Dragon would be great timing to burn some summoner spells off some key carries, even if you don't get kills. Always nice to go fishing around ahead of time here for the Dragon spawn, so your shorter ultimate cooldown can come back up for that, and you can get that advantage in summoner spell.
Exactly. That's why you fish around the 1.5-2 minute mark instead of 30 seconds beforehand. You've got to make sure that your cooldown has returned, whereas theirs is still down. You know, Azael taught me that as a principle of MMO PvP back when I first moved out here. These guys are always trading back and forth here in the bottom lane.
Keeping the pressure on him, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so MMOs, okay.
Yeah, no, Azael was just telling, I was like, Azael, I've never been any good at MMO PvP. What's the trick? He's like, you just make them burn a better cooldown than you burned. That's it. He's like, that's all it is. You make them burn better cooldowns, and then you kill them when they have no cooldowns because they're bad and you're good. I'm like, okay. All right. That's the way to do it.
I especially like the they're bad and you're good part.
I don't even remember if he said that. It was just like the bravado that he had in saying it, because, you know, Azael's just such a chill dude. He makes it sound so easy.
All right, 5 seconds on the Dragon, and it looks like we got a Ksante walking down. Teleport used to get there even quicker. Haeri could answer on the Ahri. Looks like they're going to start it up themselves. He's going to have to come in quick.
Haeri's going to teleport down. Summit clears the wave away from the tier 1 turret. Team Liquid a little separated right now. This is something you got to be concerned about. Ssumday steps forward. Nukeduck waiting off to the side. Summit wants to try to mark him, make sure LeBlanc can't jump in there. 100 Thieves now the one slightly separated too. Team Liquid, 4-man grouped up on top of the Drake. They want to engage. Closes at about half. Team Liquid still trying to take this. The Drake is secured as Summit chases away Nukeduck, but he only kills the clone. Team Liquid managed to fight this one well so far, but now Haeri's going in to try to get a little bit more. The Cozy Campfire keeping everybody healed up as Haeri now has to flash back. It's Team Liquid deciding they've gone too far and choosing not to pursue anymore.
Summit with the wraparound to the backside. You're forced with this decision with LeBlanc cone. Which one are you going to go for? And both of them were running straight. So he chose the one running straight towards their base, but that was the clone. So Nukeduck did get out without having to burn his flash. A little bit of a yoink here from Closer. Easy for Kha'Zix with the Q damage. But it was a really good positioning move here from Summit to be there for the wraparound on the snapback for LeBlanc and force them out. Team Liquid, they end up getting just the Dragon though. Not getting the chase down on kills, and then Haeri tried to make the big play there with the charm, but ends up having to go at a summoner spell deficit and flashing out using the last charge of the Ahri ultimate.
Yeah, we've honestly not got a lot of action here in this game. 1-1, 20 minutes in, 1 kill per 10 minutes. Both of these squads fine, playing it out slow.
Those are rookie numbers, Flowers. We need to pump those up.
Pump those numbers the hell up, Kobe. I need some PvP in my League of Legends game, but it does mean
All
usually...
right, jump in the arena. Let's go.
Usually when we've got games like this that are super slow on the kills, once you do finally get that one fight that everybody commits to, it kind of just decides so much of the momentum of the game up until the Nexus falls.
And I kind of like the setup here and the maneuvering done by Team Liquid. Teleport back out to the side lane here for a quick push on his 2-item power spike for Summit. Black Cleaver done. Should be able to get the tower commitment here for him.
Yep.
Solo tower gold again for Jax. Juicy.
Easy, easy, easy.
Got a nice isolated lead there versus the Ksante.
Yep, Summit bringing that up to all 3 outer turrets taken by Team Liquid, whereas 100 Thieves still yet to claim a single turret this game, but they remain with a gold advantage despite that difference. As Nukeduck jumps in towards Yeon, but he's not going to find the connection on the chains. Pyosik hanging out to the side of mid lane here. And when you think about it, 3 turrets worth of gold is a lot of gold. So for 100 Thieves to still have the lead, we look at the farm differences in the jungle role. Hold on, it's Summit jumping in there together with Pyosik. Closer's down to 51 HP, but he lives to see another day.
You better be careful where you're hopping, Kha'Zix. Squishy little bug there. You got some good lethality and some good vision control, but double buffs on LeBlanc this time around, so maybe it's more than just the cheeky little trade. Looks like it is going to be a nice chunk, but that's about it.
And what I was saying before that showed up was Closer's got way more farm than what Pyosik has. In a game where there's just no kills on the board, the farm is the only thing that's really going to be separating everybody. And in every role, well, not every role, but top, I guess, because AD carry's pretty much even. But in mid lane, there's a small advantage for Nukeduck. And then when you look up in that jungle, it's plus 40 for Closer, which is a big part of the advantage for 100 Thieves here with the gold lead that they have despite the turrets. So Closer's one of the guys I got my eyes on. Whenever we do finally get a fight in this game, Kha'Zix's impact in that fight is paramount to which way it goes.
And every time we get a little snapshot of this LeBlanc versus Ahri, tiny bit more pressure from Nukeduck's side on the LeBlanc. And even without kills and just a little bit of farm diff there, gets a bounty pop up on his head. As 100 Thieves, you're mentioning how no towers a blemish on their record. Well, those towers are very low. I always have called that standing gold.
Yeah.
It's very easy to take, and it's just standing there on the map. The outer ones especially very easy, as Summit gets chased off by the LeBlanc this time around.
Yep, jumped over the wall to try to guarantee that chain connection, but the rest of the team couldn't follow up there for any more of a punish. Nukeduck now looking at CoreJJ, who had to try to get away from that one as 100 Thieves now trying to prepare for the Team Liquid re-engage. Closer charmed up by Haeri. The damage on the bug, and they squish him flat. Team Liquid, team fighting better and finding the enemy jungle.
Oh, doing a little zigzag there on the Kha'Zix with the ultimate on the cloud speed, but it doesn't matter. Squishes him all the same. Closer goes flat, and Team Liquid, now they've got some Baron baiting potential on their hands. They get right in there. Red white gun. He's got the white gun chakram stacking up with the cozy campfire healing them. Team Liquid, they're not messing around.
100 Thieves is coming in. They don't have a jungler. It's not a 50-50 flip. Busio going to take some damage as Summit goes in to fight everybody here in a 1v4 and guarantee the rest of the team's going to be able to take the Baron away. And Team Liquid gets a 24-minute Baron.
That was beautiful. They've got red white gun. They burned down the Baron. Summit goes in knowing he's got stopwatch The extra gold value really paying off for that top lane difference at the moment. He goes in, hits the double stun, forces the retreat from 100 Thieves. Stopwatch, make sure Team Liquid don't even give up a kill, and that ensures that they can get both objectives, not just the Baron off of that pick. They will also get Dragon number 3, setting themselves up for that Dragon Soul. Huge stuff here for Team Liquid coming out against 100 Thieves. Even with fairly few kills, some really nicely managed objectives.
And that's what I'm saying. When you have a game that is such low kill value like this one, 3 in 25 minutes, whenever a kill does happen, it just ends up leading to so much more. And Team Liquid getting the Baron off that single kill onto Closer. Closer wants that one back, I tell you that right now, because he was having a good game up until that point with the advantages he had built up through his superior farming. But now it's Team Liquid who have this Baron and have the chance to pick up some of this tier 2 turret gold. I wonder how much they'll be able to get here. They do have the split push set up. It's Haeri actually split pushing away from the rest of the squad. Summit bouncing back and forth between the lanes. Pyosik leading the charge. Nukeduck takes a lot of damage there. Tidal Wave fired off by Busio to make sure that TL can't follow it up. DoubleLift takes a lot of damage. He's rooted off. The execution comes in, and Team Liquid, they're going to get the tier 2 turret. They're going to take DoubleLift with them, and now they're marching towards the base.
Oh my goodness, the range on Green Gun Aphelios and Milio there. Beautiful stuff. They're inside the base flowers. They're not done here either. Mid lane's going down at the same time as bottom lane. Haeri's trying to work in towards that inhibitor turret. Bottom inhibitor is toast. They can rotate up to meet him there. They still have a full minute left on this Baron, so the pressure is unrelenting.
CoreJJ did have to use the Breath of Life in the base, though. Nukeduck attaching the chains to him, forcing that out, because otherwise it would have threatened the kill on the incredibly squishy support that Milio is. So Team Liquid now recognizing, hey, we spent a lot down there. We got what we needed to get. We got the kill. We got the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Everybody retreats, shops up now. Unfortunately, recalling at this time means that there's not a whole lot more value you can get out of 30 seconds remaining of Baron buff, but they went from about slightly under a 1,000 gold deficit to a 3,000 gold lead thanks to that entire sequence of events.
And inhibitor being down is not scoreboard pressure, but very real pressure for these late stages. 27 minutes into the game, which will help out with that map control. Flowers, never underestimate the playmaking ability of green purple gun, okay?
Green purple, all right.
A lot of people laugh at those guns. Those guns are no joke in the siege scenario. Nicely done there from Yeon. Got the root, got the kill. And now TL, after the reset, they got to spend all that money. And Summit, even without teleport, send the Jack back down to the bottom side. Nukeduck finds him in the brush, and so he has to be a little bit more cautious with no vision, but same idea there for them.
Thanks. Ssumday getting focused here. The ulti from Pyosik locks him down, but honestly, they just don't get a whole lot more follow-up on it. It's Pyosik, Yeon, and CoreJJ. Haeri coming up to join them now, but he is on top of a ward. He'll clear out that control ward of his opponents, but not the regular one next to him. Summit now pushing down mid lane. The super minions pushing down bottom. So Team Liquid having a 3-lane threat right now as Haeri's Charm's not connecting onto any targets. Nukeduck clears out the wave in mid. Ssumday goes to clear out the wave in bot. The Team Liquid players trying to push down the tier 2, but Yeon just gets popped. Beautifully done from 100 Thieves, and now they're gonna find some more. Summit forced to use the counter-strike to stay alive as he tries to disengage in time. Pyosik wants to slow these guys down and buy more time for that escape. Summit is just running and running and running and running and running and running and running. Haeri fires off the charm, makes sure that he runs away. Team Liquid, little bit of carelessness there, gets punished, and Yeon goes down.
Right before our eyes, big stuff out of 100 Thieves. DoubleLift pops him, gets the revenge onto Yeon for the previous kill, and that's going to be the tower down now. Team Liquid, the rest of the squad is here.
Ssumday will try to...
4v4, no Kha'Zix, no AD carry for TL.
Keep everybody else safe. Summit wants to engage. He's found Busio already, and now they're going to pick up a second. It's already over with the bottom laners killed off. There's no way the rest of the Thieves can stand and fight, and Team Liquid just dogpiles them. They get 3 for nothing.
They like that trade. Summit with the flash in on this. Jax Pyosik looking to stock the recalls.
Very
Pyosik
nice.
does stop Nukeduck for now.
You won't be able to stop him completely. You can see Nukeduck actually committing the teleport to guarantee that he escapes. He'll make it back to the base.
Okay.
But the tier 2 turret is down. Team Liquid with Summit, Haeri, and CoreJJ. They want to force down this tier 3 turret. DoubleLift is still left dead for the next 10 seconds. Busio only just now respawning. Team Liquid can't stick around to finish off the inhibitor, but they will open up that second lane of the base without needing a Baron to do it. And the super minions are still putting that pressure in bottom lane.
Some big plays from Summit this game. Definitely like what we're seeing out of him this time around on TL. A lot of practice put in from this team. Training up in MSI over in Europe. And he upgraded the stopwatch into the Zhonyas as well for the further playmaking. He's level 16. He sees the clump. He follows the clump into the alcove, gets the stun. Massive damage here. And you can see on the minimap, you know, they go for this because even though they know, yeah, you just killed our AD carry, we don't have our Aphelios, we see Kha'Zix bottom side on minimap. He can't get here. So nice wrap around here.
And they all went in together. They all went in at the same time. They flashed in together. They dropped all their abilities together. And that's why they're able to get this done. Now they got to be careful. 100 Thieves coming to contest Team Liquid inside their own jungle as the Thieves constantly try to keep Ssumday between Team Liquid and everybody else on the 100 Thieves squad. Summit jumping back to the safety of his minions as the Baron is started up by TL. They recognize that 100 Thieves are paying attention over to Summit there in the mid lane. There's super minions in the bottom lane. They are pulling the Thieves in multiple different directions, trying to force them to make a choice as Summit has to use the Zhonyas. He will surely die here, but how long is it going to take? The counter-strike back on the DoubleLift. The Baron is secured, but Summit will be traded away. DoubleLift at 1/3 HP as Haeri comes around from the side. Ssumday's tanky, but he ain't tanky enough. Haeri drops them with the help of his friends, and 100 Thieves now got to try to get back. It's a 4v4 on the map, and Team Liquid have their second Baron of the game as Pyosik finishes off DoubleLift, courtesy of Summit's damage earlier, and Busio's looking like a fish out of water. Nice sidestep back from world champ Pyosik as he keeps the Nami locked down and guarantees a 3v2 for the rest of his team in the enemy base. DoubleLift's dead for 35, Ssumday's dead for 25. Team Liquid's want to end the game. Nukeduck trying to get away with only 100 HP as Closer and Nukeduck are the only two left standing. 20 seconds on DoubleLift, 10 seconds on Ssumday. Closer trying to keep himself alive, clear out some of these minions. Nexus turrets are both gone. Team Liquid wants to grab a win. Ssumday's back in about 4 seconds. 100 Thieves trying to get away. I don't think it happens. Closer jumps in and wants to kill on Haeri, but he ain't gonna find it. And Ssumday comes back to life, only to go all out, only to go all in, only to go all gone. And Team Liquid takes down 100 Thieves.
Flowers, they said this year when they made the squad, they were going to be a summer team. Summer is starting out 2-0 for them. This game, much more convincing than the game yesterday.